Tell me a little bit more about your relationship with external hard drives.
It's complicated. My name is Beau Burchell. I am the guitarist and founding member of the band Saosin. I produce and write and mix albums for artists all over the world. And recently I've been streaming and sharing knowledge on Twitch. So I started recording myself, just kind of recording my own song ideas, and I would sit next to a boombox that had the 2 tape players in it, you know, and it also had a little microphone. So I would record a guitar into the boombox and then rewind the tape and then play it back, and I'd have to adjust the volume to where my guitar and the volume playing out of the boombox was like the same level, and then that would be recorded into a second boombox. And that's kind of how I started doing multi-track recording. The more I started recording my own stuff, it started sounding better. And then from there, I just kind of word of mouth spread, and I started recording real bands. From a studio perspective, I think one of the things that I wish I would have done sooner is really kind of like get into file management. When you're making a record, it's so easy to get just kind of excited about preamps and a new guitar, or excited about the part that you're recording, that you forget to actually label the file itself. Throughout the course of making a record, it's not like you just play the guitar part once and it's done. There might be 50 to 100 takes of you trying to get that one guitar part perfect. Even though your song might only end up being, you know, a 1 gig file. For instance, like one of my sessions might actually be like 10 gigs. Multiply that by 10 songs, now I have 100 gigs that is really only 10 gigs of necessary information. As you finish that record, and then the label says, okay, great, that's the record's done, hand it in, and then you have another band that is supposed to start the next day. Sometimes you just take that drive out and then you leave it, and now that's 100 gigs of unused stuff, and it's totally not consolidated, and it's a big mess. So unfortunately, that's happened to me more than I'd like to admit. If I could do anything different, it would be getting excited about, you know, organization sooner. You know, over the past 20 years of making albums, I have probably about 20 hard drives that I'm in the process of backing up now, or consolidating into a single thing that I can access everything in, right? Because, you know, I've tried to label stuff by like, okay, this is drive number 1, and then an Excel sheet where, you know, drive number 1 has this. But then over the years, it's like, you know, you run out of space and you say, oh, well, drive number 2 might have some space on it. I'm going to back some more stuff up to that. And then you forget to update your Excel sheet. And then when the label calls you 10 years later and says, hey, we're going to do a re-release of this album, you have to like sift through 20 hard drives. And like that for me has just been the tipping point of like, I really need to get everything organized. So the thing I'm most excited about with the Thunder Bay is having everything in one spot. For so long, I've just had to sift through. Like, I feel like I'm one of those guys on a beach with like the metal detector trying to find the song, you know, and I'm like just flying blind. Previously, I would have had to spend, and you know, one, I would have huge anxiety because like, I hope that I still have this, or I hope that this old drive that's like sitting in a plastic container still works when I fire it up. The other thing that the Thunder Bay is doing with the RAID system, you know, right now, I mean, like, yes, I have this stuff backed up, but it's really only in one place. In the past, if I plug in one of the drives and it doesn't work, I'm just, you know, I'm out. Yeah, with the RAID, I have this peace of mind that knowing that if one of the 4 drives goes down, you know, I can get an alert in the SoftRAID software, and then it says, hey, this drive is down, just replace this, and then it'll rebuild everything. So I've been streaming on Twitch a lot lately, and that's been super fun. I mean, like, the video people know this, but like, I have a pretty elaborate like Twitch setup. So I have 3 cameras plus the screen capture and other things going. So that amount of data is, you know, I'd say 10 times more than the audio files. So managing that data has really sucked, you know, so just by the sheer space that it takes. So, you know, the Thunder Bay is like, I don't know, it's just great.